I mean, this is where I would say that religious faith in its broader sense always does have a role to play in society. Because if you, I mean, you say, well, China's not become religious over the decades, which in one sense is true, but in another sense, the philosophical underpinnings of Chinese society are very much located in Confucius, which of course is a very moral, I mean, philosophy, even if you say it's not a religion. Okay? And actually likewise with the Japanese. In fact, if you think of the Shinto philosophy. And I actually think sometimes the only way that you persuade people to reconciliation is where you're able to persuade them that the act of reconciliation is actually consistent with their basic philosophical belief system. You know what I mean? So it might not necessarily be consistent with a religious philosophical system, but nonetheless, you persuade them there is nothing alien with the philosophical values that underpin our society for this act of forgiveness to happen. See what I mean? So, and you see, I think that actually no society, I mean, this is why, you know, communism in its most extreme form, as practiced in the Cultural Revolution, as practiced in Cambodia, as practiced in today in North Korea, never succeeds. It doesn't succeed because it attempts to eliminate these philosophical values which are drawn on a very human, what I would call also very spiritual, even if not religious in the strict sense of the word, spiritual experience that's developed over time. And so I think where one of the interesting things is that religion, and I gave the example of Sierra Leone, but where religious groups can play a part in a reconciliation, even if the conflict is not itself religious in nature. And if you extend that from the religious to the philosophical, then I think in this Chinese case it does. In fact, my theory of this, Raymond, actually is that, and it's a conversation I have with the Chinese leadership, and I say to them, unless people understand what makes Chinese people tick in terms of, what is it that how do they feel spiritually about the world, they're going to be frightened of you. That's what I say to you. They're going to be scared of you. Because if I can't locate someone, not just as a transactional relationship, but in some sense something deeper and broader, and I would say more spiritual than that, then I would find myself recoiling from that a little, not knowing how to treat it and deal with it. So actually, I think this is a very, very important question in the development of not just Chinese society, but also China's relations with the outside world. And I think that, as with all religion, in my view, answers are called deep within people. And this concept of forgiveness, I think, is very, very deep within people. It's something that, there is something in the human spirit that has this concept within it. So, I don't know. It would be interesting to see, yeah?